You're listening to Tracy Kaywood of Property Mob, the makers of Badass Investors. And in this video, I want to help you determine what you should be focusing on in your real estate business. Now, your business is probably broken in so many ways. There's no perfect business out there. There just isn't a possible way to get it perfect. There's so many things to work on. And just when you think that everything is going exactly the way it should be, guess what? There's something else that needs to be done. And you need to do them all so you can constantly strive to get to that perfect business, or as perfect as you want it to be. Because remember, there's really no perfect business. So with all of the tasks and all of the different things that you can do to improve your business and generate more income, because that's ultimately the goal that you want, is to make more money. That's why you're doing this, right? Which one should you focus on first? I mean, you know how many moving parts there are to being a real estate investor, and you know how many moving components there are that you can perfect. Which one should you focus on first? That sometimes is what gets people hung up, right? Which one will give you the best results the quickest? Because we're all impatient and we all want things to happen right now, don't we? Well, it's a hard decision, I know. Let's talk about some areas that you can improve on in your business. And it's always going to be that sales funnel. It's always going to be that sales funnel. So I talk about this a lot because it actually covers all areas of business, no matter what business that you're in. So as a real estate investor, you're going to go through 5 steps to get to a successful business. And every one of these categories could use some improvement. So the categories are lead generation, pre-screening, construct and present offers, follow-up, and closing. So let's talk about McDonald's for a minute. I know this is totally off topic, but if we're referring to the 5 steps to every successful real estate business, if we're referring to the 5 steps of any successful real estate business, then we can pull up any business and talk about their 5 steps, right? So starting with McDonald's, their lead generation. How do they generate leads? Well, they run ads, they run commercials, don't they? About their Big Macs and their Happy Meals and their specials and their 2 all beef patties. I don't even know if they do that anymore. But that's their lead generation. They are presenting their lead generation elements to a general audience to get leads. And now they pre-screen you, right? They pre-screen you by, in their marketing message, they tell you what they have, and they show you pictures maybe of their demographics. You don't know what they're doing necessarily, but you see the demographics of people who enjoy McDonald's, and they tell you how they cook their burgers, and they're pre-screening you, right? They give you their prices. They're pre-screening you. They're letting you know what you can expect. And if they then get you into the building or through that drive-through, now they are going to construct and present an offer. And that's with their menu board. That is their offer. Here's what we have available to you, right? They're presenting an offer. And they've constructed it in a way that's pretty organized and easy. It's easy to read. It's, easy to make a decision. It's all there. Well, it's not always easy to make a decision, but that is them presenting an offer. And then they follow up. Now, their follow-up process is pretty remarkable. Would you like to supersize that? Right? That's their follow-up. That's kind of an upsell. Would that be it? Is there anything else you want? Do you want to upsize? Do you want a drink? Do you want to add a fry? Do you want to add an apple pie? They're following up. And then finally, they close. And they collect your money. And that is how McDonald's is a successful business. Now, sounds simple when we break it down that way, right? That's right. It is a simple concept, but you have to perfect each area. And I always tell my coaching clients, if there's anything ever wrong with your business, well, then you need to go back and start with step number one, with lead generation, and see if that's where the problem is. If you have all the tools in place that you can safely say, lead generation is not my problem. I'm doing the right amount of lead generation. I'm getting the leads that I want. Then you go to step number two and see where the problem is. So we'll talk about that in a minute. But we went through the McDonald's sales funnel, and now let's talk about Walmart. I just want to give you some examples so you can understand that it doesn't matter what business in, what your business model is, even in real estate. Maybe you do lease options or wholesaling or landlords or rehabs, does not matter. You're going to go through these same 5 steps of the sales funnel to be a successful business. And there's always something that you can perfect. So Walmart, their lead generation is kind of done the same way. It's done through direct mail advertising. They mail stuff. They have commercials on TV. They have commercials on the radio, but that's their lead generation. So both of these companies, McDonald's and Walmart, they both do what is called shotgun marketing. They just send out a message to everybody and hope that it hits enough people. Where real estate investors do target marketing. We're targeting a specific audience. But Walmart and McDonald's are kind of generalized, right? That's for the masses of people. So they can do TV and radio advertising. Okay, so Walmart does lead generation, and then they pre-screen you with the lowest prices. So they may not have the best quality, but they do have the lowest prices, and that is how they pre-screen you to get you into the store. If you are looking for high-quality merchandise, then do not go to Walmart. Right? That's how they pre-screen you. It's always the lowest prices every day. Now, when you get to Walmart, they present you with the offers. There are little signs popped up all over the store. That's their offer to buy their stuff. Now, they've tried, lowering prices and stuff. That's how they're perfecting their offer part of the sales funnel. And then they follow up. You keep walking down the aisle, they have something else that you might like or something else that they might like. So they follow up with additional merchandise. Maybe when you get to the counter, they follow up with credit card offers or get a Walmart card and save 5%. I don't even know if they do that because I don't shop at Walmart, but Target does. And then finally, there's the closing, and that's when you give them your money, they give you a receipt. And that's what makes Walmart a successful business. And believe me, they are also always trying to perfect their business funnel in one of those areas. So let's insert your business here. And let's break down the 5 parts of a successful real estate investor's business. And then you'll be able to start getting the picture of how things fit together in the sales funnel. So first, lead generation, and I've got some bullet points here of some of the methods that are covered in lead generation. Now, with real estate investing, there's 2 sides of the sales funnel. There's seller sides if you do acquisitions, and then there's disposition side, so selling properties and working with buyers. So you're going to actually have to perfect both sides of the sales funnel as a real estate investor, both sides. So to make it short, when I have the lead generation slide up here, I'm actually kind of covering sellers and buyers because both sides need to be perfected for you to run an effective and efficient business. So lead generation is going to cover targeting those motivated sellers. We do target marketing, so we only want a specific type of seller coming into our sales funnel. Otherwise, we are not using our money in the best way to generate leads. And that's part of what can be perfected. Direct mail. Who should we mail to? What should we mail them? How often should we mail them? This is something else that can be perfected. SEO, search engine optimization for your website, and pay-per-click advertising. Bandit signs. Driving for dollars. If this is part of your process, you can certainly become more efficient at it. And then your cash buyers. Generating qualified cash buyers and private or hard money lenders. So generating these type of people. Step number 2, pre-screening. What is the motivation of the sellers? How can you perfect that system and make it very effective? It's one of the hardest parts is analyzing your leads that come in and determining if they are a fit for your business model, whatever that business model is. And then doing the due diligence. How efficient are you at that? Gathering the information that you need in a very timely manner so that you can know whether or not to pursue this person. Comparable sales reports. Boy, these things will suck some time up, won't they? Until you get really, really good at it, and sometimes even then, it takes a long time to pull some accurate data on your subject properties. And pre-screening true cash buyers. True cash buyers. Not daisy chainers and JV guys. No, the end buyer that's going to make you the most money. That's the guys we want in our sales funnel. B, the end buyer. R, mayo and repairs. These are the elements of presenting offers. So these are the ones that really matter. And knowing how to get to these numbers and perfecting this formula, whatever it is in your market or that fits your business model, maybe you're the end buyer and you actually rehab these properties yourself, your formula is going to be a little different. But knowing how to present your offers, getting good at it, negotiating, jam up deals, estimating repairs, all of these things are areas in your sales funnel that can be perfected and absolutely could be affecting your bottom line and how much money you're making at the closing table. Follow up. More money is lost in follow up than any other area in the sales funnel. Lost. Money is lost in step number 4, the follow up. What are you doing to follow up? How can you perfect your follow up system? Ideally, it would be to set and forget. Just put a follow up system in place and you don't have to worry about it. It's being done for you. That's the perfect follow up system. And then the sellers will respond to you whenever they're ready to sell. But you're keeping in constant contact with them. That's a perfection of a follow-up system. And it could contain email autoresponders, text messages, phone calls, non-responsive sellers. So you want to follow up with those people who just don't call you back. So you don't want to let them go, right? They're not dead. Maybe you made offers and they didn't get accepted. We want to follow up with those people because that's where the money is. We got through steps 1, 2, 3 with those people. Now we're on step 4. Perfect it, and you'll learn how to make more money. And then your time and circumstance sellers, the ones that, they're not ready right now, not today, but you don't want to let them go. You need a system for making sure those people don't fall through the cracks. And then closing the deal, getting that contract signed, getting to the point where the seller is ready to sign. Sometimes that's a stumbling block for a lot of people. Sometimes that's the point. That's the sticking point. That's where you fail. That's where you falter. You don't know how to get the contract signed. And then what about closing coordination? Is it just a mess? Do you get tied up in all the minutia so hard that you can't focus on step number 1, generating leads? Going back to that beginning, you're constantly going back to step number 1 and generating more leads, or else you have no business. So you can go through all 5 steps of your business and be successful, but you always have to start over, and you have to go back to step number 1 with every single person that you make contact with. They're all starting at step number 1 of your sales funnel. So sometimes you just keep going in the same direction and you never make improvements. Does anybody have a business like that? Do you have a business like that where you feel like, okay, it's good enough, right? I'm going to just keep going in this direction. But deep down inside, something needs to change, that you're not performing at your best. Of course you think this. We all do. Because we all know that there is some area in one of these 5 steps of the sales funnel that we can improve on. Everybody could use improvement. But sometimes we just keep doing the same thing because people don't like change, makes them uncomfortable. And maybe they don't know how to change, or they don't know what they should change, even though you know you should. So what you need to do is find the one thing that you should be focusing on in your business. The one thing. Knowing where to focus can be overwhelming. What should I work on first? And then sometimes you start thinking about that, and then you just say, F it. I'm not going to do any of it. I'm going to wake up tomorrow and I'm going to do the same thing I did today and yesterday and for the last 30 days and for the last 30 years maybe, because I don't know what to focus on. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to start on, and I don't know how to get started on improving my business. Well, we're going to change that for you at the gathering. So Property Mob, if you don't know us, the MOB is actually an acronym for Makers of Badass Investors, and we are focused on helping you become the badass real estate investor that you want to be. And we're hosting our very first live in-person event in Jacksonville, Florida on July 14th and 15th, 2018. It's an entire weekend of what you can call a mastermind meeting for real estate investors. So it's not your how to flip houses. It's not how to wholesale. It's really finding the focus point. It's finding the area and that one place in your sales funnel, or two places or three places, that you need to focus on and learning how to master that. So we're going to cross the confusion bridge and do an exercise on the first day on July 14th. And we're going to find out exactly what you need to focus on. So I have an exercise set up for the entire group that's going to narrow it down to just a few items. And you'll know exactly where your priorities lie after we're done with that. And then for the rest of the weekend, now you can focus on what you need to. So let me tell you a little bit about the gathering. I'm so damn excited about it. Like I said, it is in Jacksonville, Florida. And it is not only going to be just a real estate conference, it's going to be the only one like it you've ever been to. It will be more than just a real estate event. It will be an experience. We have lots of things planned for the attendees, and we are keeping this group very small. So we're limiting it to a very small number of tickets for the gathering. And we've sold out about half of the tickets already. So I want you to have a quick look at what the gathering is about. Let me just go over some of the highlighted features for you. And then I want you to register for the gathering. I want to see you there. And let's help you take your real estate business to the next level. Okay. We got some speakers planned for the gathering. One is myself. I'm the founder and CEO of Property Mob. I'm going to be doing a session on direct mail domination. So if you decide that lead generation for sellers is where you need to be focusing, then you don't want to miss that session. Saturday, we're actually focusing kind of on seminar style learning. Sunday is more interactive and mastermind. So we have a bit of both worlds coming to the gathering event this summer in Jacksonville. Then we have our very own Steve Landau. He is a member of Property Mob. He also manages Flip This podcast and mentors investors locally, and also is a certified Property Mob coach. He'll be at the gathering working on a session for master negotiating. So he really knows how to get deals done. He really knows what to say to get the sellers and buyers to agree to his price and terms, and he's going to tell us how to do that. Now, we're still in the early bird registration as of the day of this video, so I don't know when you're going to be watching this, but we have some more speakers that we're working with to get them committed to coming to the gathering too. So you can check back on thegathering.propertymob.com and get more information on speakers as we book them. Now, this is what I was talking about here, crossing the confusion bridge. That's where we're at. That's what we've been talking about with the 5 steps of every successful business. So getting past the hump and knowing what you should be working on and knowing how to get from this point to this point. And that is the confusion bridge. That's where people get stuck. So I'm doing well in my business, but I'm stuck and I want to go further. I want to get higher. We're going to help you cross that bridge. with a session that we're going to do on Saturday. How to win at the money game. I don't know if you have this problem. It's a good problem, but and a bad problem at the same time. So we're able to make big checks as real estate investors, big checks. But the problem comes if we don't know how to manage that money. So I'm actually doing a session for you on Sunday to how to win at the money game that breaks down a very simple formula on managing your money and working towards your future without feeling like you're broke. Because sometimes we make big checks and still feel like we don't have any money. So we're going to overcome that obstacle. On Sunday, we also have instant action tables where we're going to break up into groups. This is where our mastermind comes in and have coaches assigned at every table with specific topics. And if your focus needs to be on one of the topics at the table, then that's where you will sit. And then, of course, you're welcome to attend every table during our mastermind session, but you'll have an opportunity to get your challenge addressed and get a written action plan that you can leave with, knowing exactly what the next step should be in your real estate business. Now, reminder, we're in early bird registration still. That could change at any time. And this is one of the most exciting parts. Saturday night is our La Cosa Nostra. That's our social event where we will network with all of the attendees of the gathering. Well, maybe not all. This is limited to just 50 people. So the first 50 people who purchase a ticket to the gathering will attend the La Casa Nostra social event where we will have hors d'oeuvres, adult beverages, and a special performance by our cabaret dancers. So that's going to be an awesome, awesome night after the content-filled event. We'll get to unwind a little bit. And then check out Saturday's attire. It's not required, but it certainly is encouraged. Since we have a mob theme, you can dress in your retro mob attire and hang out with all of the mobsters on Saturday. So a little bit more information about where the gathering is going to be held. And the ticket is only $197 per person. So you cannot attend any other event like this in this whole entire nation for $197. And since it's our first, we want to make it affordable for everybody. So make sure you get your ticket right now. Come and hang out with Property Mob and other like-minded real estate investors who want to take their business over the bridge and get to the next level and really start perfecting one of those 5 points of what it takes to be a successful real estate investor. See you at the gathering.